Hey guys, it's Victor once again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, you're welcome. This YouTube channel is dedicated to talking about how to get fully funded master's and PhD scholarships into top universities around the world. So since 2017, I've been awarded 5 international scholarships in the US, in the UK, and in Germany, both for a master's and a PhD. I've been able to accept 3 out of them and declined 2. So I'm here to share 1 or 2 tips with you on how you too can get a scholarship. But today I'm happy to announce that the Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarship is open for application for applicants from the Commonwealth countries. And I must say quickly that this Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarship is different from the Commonwealth shared scholarship I talked about, I think about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So in case you've not seen that video, please kindly check it out. And you might just be interested in that one as well. So what makes this one different? This is different because the participating universities in this scholarship, the Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarship, the participating universities are based in developing countries, unlike the other Commonwealth scholarship, where the universities are in the UK. These universities are in developing countries in Asia, in Africa, and in the Caribbean. And these are some of the universities involved. You have University of Malaysia, for instance. You have the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Ghana. You have University of Rwanda. You have University of Nairobi in Kenya. You have a number of them in, I think, University of Mauritius as well. Universities, another university in Pakistan. There's one in Jamaica. One in there are lots of countries like that. So you could always go through the list and see the participating universities. Also, there are different courses available, different courses, different disciplines. And in some universities, all master's courses are available for this scholarship. And in some other universities, there are some specific master's scholarship that are available for this master's courses. Sorry, that are available for this scholarship. So I think you can always check this out and see, look for the university and look for the courses that best align with your field of specialization. And I believe you can apply for multiple courses. But at the end of the day, when you get the scholarship, not if, when you get the scholarship, you can choose which one you actually pursue. So as I said, it's open for all those from the Commonwealth countries. And in case you are from a country or one of these participating universities, so you cannot apply to any participating university in your country, if that makes sense. For instance, if I'm from Ghana, I cannot apply to the Kwame Nkrumah University, even though it's among the participating universities. I have to apply for a university outside Ghana. If you're a Nigerian, for instance, there's no Nigerian participating university. So all these universities here are open, so you can apply to any of them depending on your course or your area of specialization. So I hope that is clear. So it's a fully funded scholarship. It contains tuition, living allowance, and things like that. So it's also important to mention that there are 2 folds in the scholarship. The first fold is that you have to apply to the university or universities whose curriculum or which courses catch your interest. So for instance, you're interested in University of Rwanda or University of Malaysia or University of West Indies. So it depends on you. So you apply to those universities separately. Then you make another application to this Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth scholarship. There's a portal here in the scholarship where you make a separate application. So you could do them concurrently. Do not wait till you get admission in those universities you apply to before you begin this application. You could do them actually concurrently. So the closing date or the deadline for this scholarship is on the 18th of January. It's not so far away if you're watching this in November 2020. January is just about 2 months away, so you have to start working. So you can start applying for the universities and also start working on this one immediately. As a matter of fact, this video is dedicated to answering questions specifically targeted to the scholarship. So questions you need to answer while applying in this Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarship portal. So probably the different universities have their own different ways and admissions requirements and the documents you need to provide while applying for those courses. But what I'll be doing today is showing you how to apply or how to respond to the essay questions for this scholarship. So let's go straight to the essay questions. So the question number one, or the first section of this essay question, is about plan of study, and they said it should cover 200 to 400 words. I'll try to share my screen with you so you can see what I mean. Also, the link of the scholarship will be attached in the description box below, so you can always take a look and see the questions yourself. So the plan of study, 200 to 400 words. So Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth scholarships provide unique opportunities to study abroad for a master's in leading universities in low and middle income Commonwealth countries. And by the way, the master's program you should be applying for either a 1-year master's course or a 2-year master's course. Anything more than 2 years wouldn't be funded. So be careful, choose only courses that are funded for 1 year or at most 2 years. So let's go to this question. So the question number one under plan of study is, why have you chosen to study this course? What specific features of the course do you find interesting? So why have you chosen to study this course? What specific features of the course do you find interesting? So how do you answer this? I think I've said lots of things on how to show why you applied for a particular course. I've said lots of things in my previous videos, in previous scholarships. So I'll just plow back those commentaries I made in the past. So first, I think you should show how the course aligns with your professional and your academic interest. For instance, if I'm interested in agricultural science and food production, so naturally I'll go for a course that talks about probably agriculture, food production, rural development and agricultural science, food sustainability, and things like that, because they align with my interests. And they probably align with my undergrad specialization or my area of experience. So here I would justify my choice of this course by saying I chose this course because I think it aligns with my area of interest. And these are my area of interest. I'm interested in food production, rural community development, agrarian community development, food preservation, food logistics, and things like that. I think you have to show a relationship between your interest and the course you've chosen in the first place, because there has to be a connection. You should either have an experience in that field already, or you already have a degree, or you even have both, if that makes sense. So show how this course you've chosen aligns with your interest, align with your undergraduate degree, align with your experience. Then there's a second part of that question. What specific features of the course do you find interesting? Now you have to go to that course website. Go to that course website. Check the course website carefully. Read through the course descriptions. Read through the modules in that course. And see particular modules that speak to you. Particular modules that you think you find useful. What modules means particular subjects or courses under the broad course that you might find interested, and connect them to your interest. Like you find a course on agriculture and rural development was one of the modules. They were like, oh, I like this module because it connects to what I'm already doing presently, because I'm working as an extension worker in a number of rural communities in my country, and I'm looking for ways to improve my community activity. I want to contribute more. I want to look for ways to amplify my contribution to this agrarian community. So I think this particular module will equip me with the skills I need to be more contributive in that regard. So look for modules under those courses that will equip you in special skills in that your field of specialization. So I guess you'll be mentioning about 2, 3, 4 modules under that course that speaks to you, and probably professors as well, if possible. Professors as well whose research aligns, research interests align with yours as well. So there's a second question. Why do you want to undertake this course at this institution and in this country? So this question is about the institution in general and the country in general. So what you should do about the institution is I should Google this institution, look for their ratings, their rankings in the continent or even in the world. Look for their strengths, look for the beautiful history of this institution and write it down. That, oh, I've heard lots of things about this institution. I've heard about their research, I've heard about their rating. This is what their ranking is. This is the beautiful research that have come out of this university. This is the awards they've won, and I would love to study here. And then what about the country? You could do the same for the country. I've heard a lot about this country. This country is top on the list when it comes to agriculture production, or it's top on the list when it comes to sustainability, or it's top on the list in Africa or in Asia or in the Middle East or in the Caribbean when it comes to this particular specialization. Well, I like the political stability in this country. I like the educational sector. There are lots of things we could say about a country, and try to connect it to education, try to connect it to research, try to connect it to your field. Probably the culture in general things that might be outside the classroom. I think it could also be a plus. So now the third question on the plan of study. What have you done to research your chosen university? What have you done to research your chosen university? So how did you research this university you're talking about? Either University of Rwanda or University of West Indies or whatever university you you've chosen. So what did you do to research this university? A good way of tackling this question, I believe, is showing them how you actually went about the research. That's how you Googled this university, went to the website, how you read about the history of the university, for instance, on the university webpage, and how you went to look for other independent sources about this university, looked for news reports about them, looked for external materials like news coverage, students' reports, student satisfaction reports about the university, and from there you could get a panoramic view about the university. So it's not just about what the university is saying about itself, but also what other people are saying about the university, if that makes sense. So you've read the university website to get a full grasp of what the university has to offer, but then you're reading other external sources as well, and please try to mention the external sources. A good external source might be probably a popular magazine assessing education in that country and mentioning this university, or ranking universities in that country you're applying to, and they mention this university and give like an evaluation of the university. So you could always look for materials like that on Google, or look for student satisfaction reports on this university. So mention them and show them the research and the documents you've read on the website you've consulted about this university. The next question is, how is this course relevant to your future career plans? So now state your future career plans, that after the course, I hope to do this, I hope to do that. And I believe this course will equip me with this skill, with that skill, with this knowledge, with that knowledge, with this expertise, with that expertise. So remember the modules we talked about earlier. And I could bring them up again and say, this particular module will equip me with this skill. This particular module will furnish me with that skill. This particular professor would help me to supervise this project. This particular professor would guide me in working on this particular issue. And with this, I'll be equipped with a basket of skills that when I graduate, I'll be able to work probably as the agricultural commissioner in my country, or as an assistant lecturer, or as a researcher, or return to my former job to continue amplifying my contributions in rural development and agricultural production. Yeah, here I'm still using the example I gave earlier, the agricultural expert who wants to amplify rural production of agricultural products. So you could say this skill will help me teach those people below me, or the farmers I'm working with, on how to preserve the agricultural products, on local inexpensive ways of preserving agricultural products, or ways of tackling logistics about transporting agricultural products from local farms to urban centers where the demand is high, or connecting local markets, local rural markets to bigger urban markets, things like that. So mention the particular skill that these modules will equip you with and how they will help you in your future your future goals, your future career, either as a minister, as a technocrat, as a teacher, as an extension worker, and depending on what you want. Then there's a last question under the section of plan of study, and it says, explain how your previous studies and experiences make you a suitable candidate for this course. So now you delve into what you studied in undergrad. Where did you study your undergrad? What did you study, and what are the modules you studied in undergrad? I think it's very important. State, I studied agricultural science and food production in my undergrad at University of ABC, and I did modules in agriculture and food processing, rural development, agricultural logistics, basic accounting for agriculture, things like that. I mentioned the projects you did, the volunteer experiences you gathered during that course. Then, what did you do after the course? So after the course, probably you worked for a number of years, maybe 1 year to 1 year, 2 years, depending on, or you did an internship or something, a volunteer. You joined a volunteer organization and volunteered your skills. So what did you do? And remember you connected to the course you're applying for. So show that your undergrad degree with the modules you've done and the experience you've acquired aligns with what you intend to do. So you could do this by saying, yes, my undergrad degree, I graduated with the BSc in this course, and these are the modules I did, and these are the things I've learned. But I believe there are lots of things to also learn in this field. When I've done this already, I believe there are lots of things that could still contribute to this field. There's still lots of things to be learned. There's still lots of knowledge gap I hope to fill. So I think this master's, this MSc in the course you intend to apply will equip me with the skill to continue or to amplify my contribution, to amplify my knowledge in this particular field of specialization. So mention your undergrad degree, mention the modules, mention the experience, mention your undergraduate projects, mention your work experience you have, and tie them through a connection between what you've done in the past and this course you intend to apply for. So there's a second part of the statement, and it's about development and post-study outreach. Development and post-study outreach. So 300 to 500 words. So the Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth scholarships are for students committed to creating change in their communities. Scholars will be supported to develop their knowledge and skills and learn how to apply them in their career so they can contribute towards solutions to global changes and the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So now what they want you to write in this statement. Your statement should answer the following questions. Describe briefly one challenge or problem in your country that you would like to address. How will your proposed study help you contribute towards a solution to this challenge? What skills do you expect to gain from this scholarship? How will you use the knowledge and skills gained on a ward in your local community when you return home? So these are questions about, okay, how developmental is this course you intend to undertake and how impactful will it be in your local community? Well, let's take it one after the other. So the first is describe briefly one challenge or problem in your country that you would like to address. So again, I'll use the example of the young agricultural scientist who wants to do a master's in agriculture and food sustainability and food production. So the student here might argue that farmers in his country, or in our country, are experiencing a lot of food spoilage. So the agricultural yield is quite okay, but a lot of agricultural products spoil because of inadequate storage facilities. And most of these available storage facilities are quite expensive. So you're trying to help them to look for what they call it, for local alternatives or ways of preserving agricultural products. Another problem with this is that there's probably a logistic problem. There's a way of transporting these goods on time from the farms to the urban areas or to the big markets where they are sold, or because of bad roads, bad transport networks, and things like that. So there are lots of problems regarding food spoilage because of lack of storage facilities and lack of adequate transport facilities to take these products to where they are needed. So you could always give data to show how big this problem is. Look for data to support your stand. Quotes a bureau of statistics in your country, quotes notable newspapers, quotes the FAO or these international organizations with country reports on your particular country, on the particular problem you're talking about. So quote and show that this is actually a bigger problem. It's not just a small problem happening in a small village, but it's actually a wide problem and I want to tackle it from my own small corner. So having recounted the problem, back it up with evidence, with statistics. So now the second question is, how will your proposed study help you contribute towards solutions to this challenge? So show that this course you're applying for is actually geared at solving problems like this, geared at solving agricultural problems in rural communities, teaching farmers new technique of how to preserve the agricultural products, teaching farmers of basic skills of accounting, of logistics, of sustainable agricultural techniques. So this course is meant to teach experts, to teach farmers, if you get what I mean. So this course, whatever you're studying, would equip you to equip others, because this is the community dimension that is quite necessary to mention, because this scholarship is not just about you and helping you make money and help you advance in your career, but they actually want you to give back. So show how this course will help you solve a problem, how this course will help you equip others. So in the case of this example, these techniques that this student will learn, he will go back home to teach those target audience, that's the farmers is helping, go back home to teach them how to look for creative ways of and cheaper ways of storing the agricultural products, how to look for effective ways to connect with bigger markets, to circumvent logistics and problems in sending the agricultural products to the markets. So look for elements of this course that will help you solve that problem that you mentioned initially. So what skills do you expect to gain from the scholarship? Again, what skills like how do they put it? That's the soft skills that this course will help you with. And we've probably mentioned some of them already, but there's a way you have to, I think this is an opportunity to clarify some points you just mentioned in a line in previous questions. This is the time to expatiate on them. So for instance, I said this course will equip me with the skill of analyzing agricultural issues in rural communities, or give me the skills of managing, if you're into the a course that talks about management, how to deal with different personality kinds, how to help me with leadership skills, with research skills, with interactive interpersonal skills. So skills specific to your field, and also fields that will help you generally in any field you wish to specialize in. So the next question is, how will you use the knowledge and the skill gained on award in your local community when you return? So it's just like, what will you do when you return, and how will you use the skills? So you say, you might just say that, I'll go back home and most of these things I've learned, especially on the way of special techniques, special methodologies, I'll go back home and teach people. And how will you do this? You might organize like a workshop, for instance. I'll go home and organize a workshop, a seminar, a conference or something. I'll go home and collaborate with existing NGOs and contribute my input. I'll go home and work here and work there and use these skills I've learned to amplify my contribution. So show realistic things you might do, like this conference I mentioned, workshops, collaboration with NGOs, collaboration with departments and universities, youth empowerment programs, things like that. And yes, I think you'll be fine with that. Now the next one is about sustainable development goals. And the first question is which of the UN sustainable goals does the subject you're studying most align to? You can pick more than one. So you probably know the Sustainable Development Goals. I'll also leave a link to that, the 17 of them. I'll leave a link to them in the description box below, so you could also look at them. So with the example I gave with this agriculture scientist interested in food production, so the goal that might come to mind here is the second SDG, which is zero hunger, about food sustainability, about providing food and food logistics and things militating against food production and how to solve those problems. So this second SDG, zero hunger, fits directly into this issue of food sustainability. So you might want to go to the SDG website and look for probably lines to borrow. So do not just do a cut and paste. You might be cut for that, but do a paraphrase. You see something you like, there's a particular line in this SDG you like. So mention the SDG first and look for its description in the SDG website. Look for how it is described and paraphrase in your essay and show connection with the course you're applying for. And of course, it might have more than one SDG. Your course might connect to multiple SDGs. So here I might say for agricultural production, it might connect to SDG 2 on zero hunger, but also to employment, for instance, which is, I believe that is SDG 8, and SDG 1, no poverty, because you also want to use this, your initiative, to help rural poverty as well, to empower those in rural areas through agricultural empowerment. So now you're mentioning SDG 1, SDG 2, and SDG 8. So be creative and look for SDGs that align with your own areas of specialization and areas of interest, I think. Yeah. So let's go to the next question. How will your proposed study contribute to these SDGs? So it's just a continuation of the first one. The first question is which of the SDGs align with that, your area of specialization. So in this case, I mentioned SDG 1, 2, and 8 and describe them quickly without lifting word verbatim, but like a summary or a paraphrase. And now they want you to show the relationship between how your course connects to that. So you show like agricultural sustainability, you want to talk about food production, to avoid food spoilage, to bring food on people's table. It's a straight or direct relationship with SDG 1. Show how agricultural production will provide more jobs for amplified agricultural production, provide more jobs for the unemployed youth in that community. Talking about SDG 8, or how amplified agricultural production and productivity will help increase the living standards of those rural communities. And with that, you're tackling poverty, which is SDG number 1. So that's it. So the last and final section of the questions is about networking, creating networks, 200 to 400 words. The Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth scholarships provide an opportunity to embrace new cultures, learn different perspectives, and enhance collaboration at home and through the Commonwealth. So your statement should answer the following questions. 1. Explain how you have developed networks through academic studies, hobbies, work experience, and volunteering experience. 2. What connections and networks will help you to achieve impact from your scholarship? 3. How might you start to develop these connections during your study? How might you start to develop these connections during your study? So let's take the first one. Explain how you have developed networks through academic studies, hobbies, experience, and or volunteering experience. So networking. If you've watched my video on the Chevening Scholarship, or the what do they call it, the Mastercard Edinburgh Scholarship, you're probably familiar now with these phrases I'm about to share: network initiation, network sustenance, and network utilization. So, in case you're new and you do not know what they mean, don't worry, I would explain. So, network initiation means how do you meet people in your professional field or otherwise. So, you could say, oh, I meet people through attending conferences, or through friends, or through former classmates or lecturers in my university. So if I see someone whose interest aligns with mine, whose focus aligns with mine, who I think is inspirational for me, who I think will be useful for future projects, future endeavors, I try to probably take their number, connect with them on LinkedIn, or look for ways to contact them, take their business card, for instance. So the question is asking here, explain how you have developed networks through academics. So explain how you developed network. So you say by attending conferences, for instance. So you attend a conference in your area of interest. You probably get in touch with the key speaker, the keynote speaker, because you found his or her keynote address as quite insightful. So after the conference, you got in contact, got the business card, or got the phone number, or got in contact through LinkedIn, and there you kept in touch. And that is where we get to the second part, network and sustenance. Sustenance is how you keep the network alive, how you exchange ideas, how you maintain the network through probably periodic phone calls, exchange of messages on LinkedIn or something, or face-to-face interactions and discussions on topical issues that is of general interest to both of you. So it depends on you. Where do you find people, the people in your circles? You might find them at the workplace, in conferences, as I said, or hobbies. Probably a member of a sports club or a music club, or even in church or something. That is how you could build a network. Then the second question is, what connections and networks will help you to achieve impact from your scholarship? So here you can drop names of people you think you have them already, or you hope to have them in your network, that will help you achieve this project, or this problem you want to solve. So you could drop names that, oh, you have this person, or there's this NGO, or there's this individual who is working in the same area as you, and you've already begun some form of communication or collaboration, and you hope to amplify this collaboration or communication when you return. Or you see there's this particular NGO, you've been reading their reports and you find them insightful. You hope after your degree, you probably go there to work for them, or go there to collaborate with them for something, and or go back to consult with them for a particular project. So here I think it's a good time to mention names of people and organizations you hope to work with, or you're already working with. Then the last question is, how might you start to develop these connections during study? So how might you hope to develop these connections during study? So say you would even start connecting with the faculty members in the university you're applying to. So when you get in, look for faculty members whose research interests align with yours, and look for ways to collaborate with them. Probably there's some of them who want to work in your country, want to conduct field research in your country. So look for ways to communicate with them. Probably could act as their research assistants after your degree, or even during your degree. You could always get in contact with them, do your projects under them, and under their tutelage and mentorship. You could also network with your fellow classmates from different parts of the world, with their different experiences, with their different insights. This might be insightful for you. So you take advantage of the faculty and the student community. So, but for your network back home, also show that you keep in touch with them through some form of communication, through emails, through video calls, through exchange of letters, or through LinkedIn and other places. So you stay in contact with your old network by these examples, through these means I've explained. But you also find new network through your faculty and the students and community, looking for ways of collaboration with fellow students, with your lecturers and other members of the faculty. And yeah, that's it, guys. I hope it was insightful. I hope you've learned one or two things from this discussion on the essay questions for the Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarship. So I'll leave the link below. Look at the link, and I'll also leave the link to the SDGs below as well in the description box. And I wish you good luck. Put your questions below. I'll try to get back to you. And yes, I wish you success. And I can't wait to meet you at the top. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.